Mosquitoes, ticks, and ants, oh my. What I do to prevent bites in the first place, but also treatment if it does in fact happen. This is Amanda from Albany Mountain Homestead, and I'm wanting to show you what I do to try to help prevent, number one, the bites. And this particular baby oil gel is found at the Dollar Tree. So it's super cheap and it really does keep the mosquitoes away. But if I did get a bite by a mosquito or an ant or a tick, I have found curly dock, also known as yellow dock, and there's a couple of other names for it, to be very effective in the treatment of bites from these creatures. Now, curly dock does have other benefits, but today I'm just talking about the treatment of mosquitoes and ticks and ant bites, because I have found that this has been by far the top-notch treatment for these bites for me. And first I wanted to show you the plant itself and how it looks. Leaves can get over a foot long. It is a biennial plant where the first year it will grow closer to the ground like I showed you before. In the second year it will send up stalks that will produce seed. And it's kind of easy to recognize at this point in the summer. I know here in Arkansas right now, a lot of this curly dock has now put out its seed and it's drying. And all these seeds are going to fall to the ground to produce many, many more curly dock. And you will be able to see them driving down the road. They grow on roadsides and disturbed soil, and the seeds are actually able to hold on for 80 years. And when the soil becomes disturbed and under the right conditions, it will begin to grow. And so first right here, this is the seed before it has dried. And here's the seed now. And if you're not careful, this will take over your yard. It's very invasive, but it's also a very sustainable plant because it is edible and has many benefits, of which you can Google and find out all the particulars about this plant. So in an effort to try to keep this from taking over my yard, I will break off the seed heads and dispose of them and only let a few go to seed. That way I'm keeping on top of how much this spreads. And so I wanted to show you right here. This bottle is about 6 inches long, and right here is about as long as the leaves will get. So just an idea for you to see just how big it really can get. And this, you don't have to worry about trying to preserve it. You don't have to worry, because what I have found is if you keep plucking the leaves throughout the mosquito and bug season, it's better really to have it fresh. And every time I pick the leaves, if I don't use them, I can use them as a chop and drop, or I can feed it to my chickens. But if I'm needing to treat a tick bite or a mosquito bite or the fire ant bites, what I usually do is tear the leaves, and then I start rolling them in my fingers so it can begin to release this ever so valuable liquid. And I'll rub it on a mosquito bite like that, anywhere you might have one. And this does produce quite a bit of liquid for you. So if you have more than one mosquito bite, you can spread it anywhere you've got one. But I've also used it as a poultice, where if I have a tick bite or a fire ant bite, I'll rub the leaves, stick it on the bite, put a piece of tape over it, and I'll leave that set for about 20 minutes, or until at least I know the itch has stopped. And then I'll take it off. And usually about 12 hours later, if the itch returns, I'll do it again, put it on the bite, put a piece of tape over it until the itch stops. And the funny way I discovered this was I had gotten bit by ants, the fire ants, while I was working in my garden. And I saw this growing in it, and I thought, let's just give it a try. And not knowing what it was, I just went for it. And it was truly the best thing I had done, because I have found nothing that helps with those 3 particular bug bites that will heal them as quickly as it does. Mosquito bites, usually within a few minutes, the itch is gone and I don't even think about it again. But this, I have found as a very cheap alternative to keep the bugs off me to begin with. As far as mosquitoes go, I haven't gone into the woods to see if ticks are going to get on me, but it definitely helps keep mosquitoes off. And of course, I wouldn't recommend putting this on during the sun hours, maybe in the evening at the sunset, or if you're out in the morning before the sun is really coming up and blazing. Another thing with this baby oil gel is it also contains lavender and chamomile, and that actually is known for deterring biting bugs. Anyway, I hope this is helpful for you, and again, I always recommend people do their own research, because it is imperative that before you try something, you should know it well enough to decide whether this is something you should or should not try. So I hope this helps someone in the future. And if it works for you, let me know how it goes. Take care, and God bless.